All right, so good evening. I'm going to start with today's class. I know that, well, I know now, right, that in the previous class you had some problems by joining, and that today you won't be here, right, because of, well, an event that you got. So I'm going to start with today's class. I'm going to cover two topics today, all right, because I have to keep covering these contents that we got. Only two. It is not going to take a lot because mainly what we do again is practicing in, well, having some examples, and that's the most important part of the class. So as I'm not able to do that right now, I'm going to cover two topics that are going to be part of the last ones. This is the sixth class. We have still, right, two more classes. So I'm going to say at least, if you let me check just a little. One, two, perhaps if we need to check that, but we're going to mainly have, oh, yes, two. All right, perhaps two more presentations for those 2 days. So we can only cover one per day, and we can spend the rest of the time in working with the transitional words that we've been practicing. All right, and I think that's going to be good. But I need you to be in class for that. But well, let's begin. Just give me a second. I'm going to verify that my microphone is working without an echo, and I'm going to continue. Okay, it seems to be good. So, infinitives with adjectives and nouns. We know about infinitives. We covered that. We're not going to repeat that once again. However, right, this is a short review of everything we have to remember. That infinitives can be used as subjects, but they are not as common as gerunds, right? To eat is delicious, but it is more common to say eating is delicious, but it is a possibility. It can be it works also as an object after specific verbs. Right? For example, she wants to go to the party. When you got an object before the infinitive, right? I joined the class. I need you to join the class. She wants him to be her boyfriend. I was expecting you to finish it out. All right. So we are working with, again, the infinitive as an object after a pronoun, after a person, after a noun in this case. And it can work as purpose as well, right? Why you do something. For example, I study English to travel abroad, right? But again, that is clear. We covered that. We're not going to repeat that once again. The structure is clear, right? Affirmative, to plus the base form, to go, to eat, to travel. Negative is not to plus the base form, not to go, not to travel, not to eat, right? Clear. Now, this is the main topic, and here is where I'm going to be, right, going slower so that we can understand everything. But it is simple. It is just a set of adjectives after which we use the infinitive. That's it. After these adjectives, you can use the object that is an infinitive. And it goes like this. The list of adjectives in this first slide is the following: able, unable, anxious, likely, unlikely, ready, prepared, willing, unwilling. All right? The main and basic structure that you can follow is the one that you got over here, right? This is basic. We know this when we were working with adjectives, right? Using the verb to be. So the subject, to be, adjective, infinitive, and complement. So unfortunately, I was unable to work for over a week, right? So we're following the structure. I was unable to work. It is not going to be I was unable work, I was unable working, right? I was unable to work. I'm really tired. I'm ready to go to bed, right? And again, this is simple. We know this, but this is the set of rules that we need to memorize, right? After these adjectives, we use infinitive, all right? Something is likely to happen. Someone is prepared to do something. you are willing to learn a new language, or someone is unwilling to help somebody, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, we have a specific categories for this. First, we got just general adjectives. Now we have adjectives related to reason when you use them with infinitive. Why? Because it is reason. For example, we were happy to come. The reason why you were happy is because of this action. John was surprised to see me. All right, but the reason why John was surprised is this action. So when the action, right, actually we're going to say it in this way, using the title directly. When we got a reason with infinitive, this is the correct way of using it. All right, with these specific adjectives. Someone is amazed to see something. So first, let's read the list. All right, so amazed, delighted, disappointed, glad, happy, pleased, proud, relieved, sad, sorry, surprised, and happy. Right? After these adjectives, we can mention reason by using infinitive. And again, the formula is over here, and we can analyze once again that we are following. All right, so we were happy to come to the end of our journey. And it explains here, right? We were happy because we had come to the end of our journey. Same here. John was surprised to see me. He was surprised because he saw me, right? So that's why we're talking about reason. So with these types of adjectives that can be followed by reason, we use the infinitive. All right? Clear, right? So again, it's going to be short, but this has to be clear. Now, related to opinion, the list first. Clever, difficult, easy, foolish, hard, kind, nice, possible, impossible, right, wrong, silly. So you give an opinion after these adjectives. It is easy to play the piano, right? So it's not the reason, right? It is not the reason. It's obvious that it's not the reason. It is an opinion that you got about that activity. Sorry again. All right, you know, when I'm alone working, well, this happens. Okay, Danita, so it's easy to play the piano, but it is very difficult to play well, right? So we got two examples, right, in one. Easy to play, that's my opinion. In my opinion, it is easy to play the piano, but it's very difficult to play well. That's, again, opinion, right? We have then two adjectives that work with opinion, easy and difficult. Then, he spoke so quickly that it was impossible to understand him. All right, because of that, in my opinion, it was impossible to understand why he was saying. All right, so that's it. If you want to use something related to opinion, you can use one of these adjectives, and with them you can use the infinitive. All right, now nouns. Those are three slides, or those were the three slides related to adjectives, right? General adjectives, adjectives related to reason, and adjectives related to opinion. Now, with nouns, we can use infinitive because they are going to be, or it is going to be, a past modifier. The list is ability, attempt, chance, desire, failure, need, opportunity, refusal, wish. And we don't have a specific structure, but the connection is going to be between the noun, infinitive, and complement. For example, they gave him an opportunity, right, a noun, to escape. So it is the complement, is the past modifier of that noun, an opportunity to escape. All right, that's one. He was annoyed by her refusal to answer. So her action of saying no, 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 or just not wanting to answer, but that activity as a noun is complemented by to answer. Okay, I have no desire to be. Again, a past modifier, reach. There is no need to shout. All right, again, in all these cases, the infinitive is being a complement, is past modifying the idea. Opportunity to escape, refusal to answer, desire to be, need to shout. All right, that is clear, and it has to be clear. Now, we got this to finish very quickly. Nouns, indefinite pronouns. We know these pronouns, right? Someone, no one, anyone, something, nothing, anything, somebody, nobody, anybody. Same idea, the structure just needs these elements to be close together. Indefinite pronoun plus infinitive plus complement. So when I'm traveling, I always take something to read. Okay, it also complements the indefinite pronoun. Something to read. I was, yes, it's okay. I was all alone. I had no one to talk to. So, to complement to that, no one to talk to. There is hardly anything to do in most of these small towns, right? Anything to do. So, same idea as the previous one, but in this case, instead of working with nouns, we are working with pronouns, and specifically, we work with indefinite pronouns, right? Not just pronouns, indefinite pronouns. Someone to talk, no one to have a conversation with, right? Something to do, nothing to compare, and so on and so forth. It is going to complement that idea. All right, and that's quite it. Now, let me just it's over there. Okay, now that's it. That's the first one. We got one more. I'm going to see how we're with the time because I really need to cover this time. We cannot practice, so I'm going to see what I'm going to do. All right, at least one more. But if the time let us, and actually I have to cover right more time. Perhaps I'm going to cover one extra lesson that is a very simple lesson that I didn't mention, but I'm going to do it. All right. So the next one is, I will cover this, is passive causative. Let's open this. This is actually a very interesting and important, but report the speech is also very important, and perhaps it's going to take us more practicing. So let's go to passive causative. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to work again with some details related to these elements. All right, so let's work on this. All right, so we got to see, let me get comfortable, please. All right, we got to see the passive causative, no, it was causative verbs, right? We got to see causative verbs at the beginning of this course, all right? Causative verbs. We had make, have, get, let, help, all right? Those were causative verbs. We mentioned an object, right? That was the person or the group of people that was being influenced or did something for us, for example, right? I made you do this for me. If there's payment involved, if there's a responsibility involved, have, right? I had you do this for me. If I'm convincing you, I'm not paying you, it's not your obligation, but I told you some things and you said, okay, okay. right? So it's convincing, persuading. You use get, right? I got you to do this for me. And well, the other ones that again, they don't work exactly as these causative verbs, but that's what I need you to remember. Now, positive or passive causative, sorry, I'm mixing the two words. It's related to the same idea, but it is passive. So the object, yes, it is going to be the agent that is now working as the object. It is going to be optional. All right. Here, the main idea is the action that is happening, that happened, that was happening, any tense we want, right? But let's make that clear. Let's go to the first part. Let's do this here again and again. So, questions, right? What do you do when you require a service? For example, someone to paint your house. Okay, you can think of that as you're watching the class. So, what do you do? Right? And how do you require that service? How can you tell me that you made a professional do something for you without mentioning the person who did it obligatorily? Okay, so it's what I told you. This is passive voice. We don't mention the person who did it, right? The agent is going to be an alternative. But here, what has to be clear is how we use this passive voice, all right, in general. So let's go straight to the point. What happened? Okay. So, definition. We use a causative verb, right? We know causative verbs when we want to, let me put this in a better place. Okay, good. So we use a causative verb when we want to talk about something that someone else did for us or for another person. We know that, right? This means that the subject caused the action to happen, but didn't do it themselves, right? Maybe they paid, let me read this again. Maybe they paid or asked for, paid, asked or persuaded the other person to do it. Okay, that's what we mentioned with causative verbs. But now, let's go to the illustration. Right? If we say I cleaned my house, this means I cleaned it myself, right? That I did it. This is just active voice, right? I cleaned my house. Then we got this other option, right? If I paid someone to clean it, of course I can say a cleaner cleaned my house. That's obvious, right? It is still active, right? A cleaner cleaned my house. We're still paying attention to, well, active voice and the subject of our idea. 3, another way is to use causative construction, right? So I can also say, I had my house cleaned. This is passive causative. I'm not mentioning who cleaned my house, but I am saying that I didn't do it. If I say I had my house cleaned, it means that I paid someone, that I got someone to do that for me, right? And if that is clear again, passive causative is going to be a piece of cake. So in this sentence, the important thing is that the house is now clean. We don't focus on who did the cleaning, all right? For some people, again, that can be something that is positive. For some other people, no. But let's see how it goes, all right? Here, mainly two, if I'm not wrong. Yes, just two, have and get. Have plus object plus past participle. That is very important. You know that too as well. We usually use have something done when we are talking about paying someone to do something for us. It is often used for services, right? The form is subject plus have plus object plus past participle. The two examples are, I had my car washed. The second one, John will have his house painted. Okay? Same idea, kind of the other one, yes, but here we're not referring to people. This is just referred to objects directly. So once again, right? The first one is in past, I had. The second one is in future, will house. All right, sorry, will have his house painted, right? So it means that once again, as with causative verbs, if you remember, we can use the passive causative in any tense. All right, but again, here you're saying, in other words, when you say I had my car washed, you're saying that you paid someone, that you got a service, and they washed the car for you. But again, when you say I had my car washed, you're saying that. You're not saying that you did it. All right? You're saying that you paid someone, you got someone to do something for you. Okay? Now get, it's more related to persuasion, yes, but it's again just as have as make, but it is less formal. All right? So the students always get their essays checked. All right? Get for simple present. We imagine that this is a routine. The students always get their essays checked. Then the next one, he got his washing machine fixed. It means that he didn't fix it himself. He paid someone to do it. All right, and actually, no, I'm just, in this case, it can be, all right, used in any case, but we get, it's not that you paid, right? Is that perhaps you convinced someone, right? He got his washing machine fixed, all right? It happened. It was not him or her, in this case, him. It was, right, someone else. That's it. All right. Actually, that's going to be it. Again, I just developed things that I see are difficulties. Let me cover one more that is going to be very simple. And with that, we should be good to finish. All right. That is this one. Something very simple that we didn't open. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to open this. Okay, should be here down below. Yes. Okay, let me fix these details and we are good to go. So again, this is simple. I'm actually kind of sure, right? I won't say 100, but 98%, 99% sure that you know this, right? So it is basic, but we're going to review it to finish today. So we have all the contents covered. Let's analyze these examples, right? What will happen if you don't study for the test? The answer should be a type of condition, right? This will happen if I don't study for the test, all right? Or if I don't study for the test, comma, this will happen, right? That's the idea. That's the structure that we follow. So introduction, there are at least 4 types of conditional clauses, right? But today, we'll take a look at only one of them, future conditional, right? Future conditional shows us one action, all right, in the present. Sorry, it should be with that. The future conditional shows us how one action in the present will or is going to have a consequence in the future. The main formula basic is this one, right? If plus simple present in affirmative or negative, plus the comma always when this conjunction is at the beginning, plus future tense, affirmative or negative, will or be going to, but will is always the best option for this, well, not transitional words, sorry. All right, for this particular case. If simple present, affirmative, negative, comma, all right, obligatory, future tense. And yes, this is what I was saying, so I got lost over there. Will is the best option for this particular structure. structure or conditions. All right. Be going to, of course, it's not going to be incorrect if we have it, but will is the best. If I stay here, comma, what's the possible result? If that condition is true, I won't be able to finish my tasks, right? Easy. Second, right? If she still feels bad, if this condition is true, comma, she's going to go to the doctor. The third one, if they don't complete the assignments, comma, they'll fail the course. All right, let's take that into account once again. If they don't complete the assignments, they will fail the course. All right, easy again. Basic structure, it's clear, right? Inversion, we know about inversion. We start with the future tense, affirmative or negative, will or be going to. Will is the best option. If in the middle with no commas and the simple present, affirmative or negative, right? I won't be able to finish my tasks. If I stay here, she's going to go to the doctor if she still feels bad. All right, and they will fail the course if they don't complete the assignments. All right, we have some variations in which we can use, of course, some other models. These are just options. If, simple present, affirmative, negative, comma, the models. If I stay here, I may not be able to finish my task. So you're giving just a possibility for the future, but it is still future. If she still feels bad, she can't go to her classes, right? So that's the consequence. It is a present ability or inability. If they don't complete the assignments, comma, they might fail this course, all right? They might fail related to something, well, that is the possible consequence, right? And in the three cases we are using, right, this time what? Models. So it is also possible to do it. That's it. All right. I'm not going to cover these elements that I got for the last classes because I have to also use them as part of our class. I used just a little time, right, from the time that we usually have for these classes. But again, without the practice, it's just covering the contents and that's it. So with this, I am going to finish. All right. I hope that everything is okay, that you can enjoy that event, that everything goes well. Once again, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Right? Take care.